That's my warning to the world. But we do have other news. It was not that long ago when the Golden State Warriors said, we are not waving the white flag. Well, no, they apparently are not. Behind the scenes, it's being reported that they have contacted the Lakers for maybe a trade for LeBron James. But that's not all, folks. Shams Charania also reporting they're desperate. And they've reached out basically to every single star in the NBA, including a possible reunion with Kevin Durant, maybe a Paul George. You guys, I think everyone sort of agrees that the Lakers are not winning a title as currently constructed. So I don't know if we're thinking about Warriors and LeBron James, and I have seen this a few times now that it is possible. Could a LeBron, Draymond, Steph trio do something this season, Lou?
I don't think so. Listen, the Warriors are having their struggles. The Lakers are having their ups and downs in this season. You put these guys together, you're looking at a combined age of, 100, 110 years old. Like
1,000.
You know, as legacy acts that they are, that they're going to go down as Hall of Famers. They're going to be iconic guys when it's all said and done. But to see them together at this stage in their careers, I don't know if this gets them over the hump unless they put a lot of young, exciting energy around these guys, and you put them in a position where they can play a controlled style of basketball. I don't know if this works with just the way that these guys are playing, like I said, especially at the place that they are in their careers. And also, like Beadle just said it, the Warriors are calling everybody. Now we don't know who's up.
Yeah, nobody's. It's 2 a.m. at the bar.
Yeah, nobody's off limits now.
They said it out. You up Texas to everyone.
Nobody is off limits. So if I'm the Golden State Warriors, if I can watch Luka Doncic get traded to Anthony Davis, it's like, well, who else is unhappy? I'd like to know, because we're in the market for a superstar. So who's available?
I think if anything, yesterday it kind of put everyone on notice, right? Nobody's safe. Everyone's available. If I'm a GM, if I'm a front office staff member, I'm calling the Nuggets and kind of halfway kidding and being like,
wow.
Put a package together for the Joker.
What's it take for Jokic? What does it take for Anthony Edwards? Because clearly everyone's available outside of Wemby. I think there's nothing that can get Wemby out of San Antonio.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I was racking my brain on this. It's not like Golden State's in the business of jersey sales or getting guys involved, tickets. They don't need a LeBron James. And as good as LeBron and Draymond and Steph's Hall of Fame careers, they're towards the end of their career. So this trade doesn't really make sense. What are they willing to give up to bring in a LeBron James? Are they really going to give up their future? A Podziemski, a Kuminga, Moody, some of these kind of cornerstone pieces moving forward, post Steph and Draymond? To me, it doesn't really make sense. Now, if you can get your hands on a guy like Giannis, who that's the one that makes the most. That's the one that makes the most sense to me. And especially when you throw a Kuminga in there for Milwaukee, kind of the same development that they would go through with Giannis as they would with Kuminga. But again, I think everyone's just kind of closing their eyes and swinging for the fences here.
And you know what? If you're LeBron and it takes you 20 years to get traded, well done, bro. Well done. If you get traded in year 21 for the first time in your career, that's going to be crazy. And also, you got to look at the flip side of it. In LeBron James Inc., we started this season with Bronny James and him playing with his son. It looked like he's having the best time of his career competing alongside his son and having that experience with him. So any trades like this, unless they're done in the dark without anybody knowing, like the trade that we just saw.
Which is possible.
I don't even see this even being a plausible thing.
And again, LeBron, he's balling right now. He is going. He's playing at an elite level. But how long is that going to last? How many years more is he going to play? We don't know the answer to that, right? So what are you willing to give up to even acquire a LeBron James? And if you're LeBron James at this point, don't you just want a championship? Don't you want to go somewhere going to Golden State, no matter who they give up, it doesn't put them in contention, in my opinion. So I think this would be a lateral move. I think it would be interesting, and it would break the internet, and it'd be something. God. And again, I'm not gonna. I would like to see a KD reunion before a LeBron James trade.
Well, didn't we talk about that too? Wouldn't it be kind of cool if KD went back now because everyone was so angry when he went the first time, but if he went back now, would that change?
If I want
KD
to go back anywhere, I'd want him to go back to OKC, but then he would.
I would love that.
But then, can you imagine the ring-chasing comments that he would get? And
you can't do it.
Get for doing that. But I would rather see him go back there and what they'd be willing to give up than to go to Golden State. But look, the idea of Steph and LeBron playing on the same team in the last couple of years, it's cool. It's awesome. I just don't know if it moves the needle to me.
Absolutely.
It's very, I mean, the Olympics were fun to watch. If KD goes anywhere, I'd like him to go back to Seattle. If we're going to go as far as all of this, that's what I'd like to see.
Seattle would like
the return
anybody to come back at this point.
Let's get him a team
Come
for
on.
sure.
We need the NBA back in Seattle. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about KD, right? Because there's a report from Jake Fisher that the Suns are not planning on trading Kevin Durant. No offense, we don't believe anybody anymore, but they are listening to other teams' pitches. More reports coming out saying they have zero intention of trading him, but Chris Mannix is saying that the Suns are, quote, seriously considering Kevin Durant trades before the deadline. So what I just said there was two completely different things, and that's where we are right now in NBA trade talk. Look, if you are the Suns, Chandler, do you, and look, you should listen to everything, and everything has changed over the last 3 days. It's all up for grabs. But if you're the Suns, what would it take? Like, are you seriously considering this move?
Yeah, I think you're listening to everything. And again, just going back to yesterday's trade, that kind of shocked everybody. Every team is on notice. Every player is on notice. Everybody should be listening, especially the Phoenix Suns. This team was built to win a championship now. This big three was constructed to win now, and they have it. And they've been pretty healthy for the most part. They've had a little bit of banged-up injuries with Beal and KD, and they bring in the point guard, Tyus Jones, they bring in Monte Morris. They've had the issues at center with Nurkic and him butting heads with Coach. So I do think they listen, and again, I don't know the options here. I just said OKC, that'd be fun. I don't know why OKC what they'd give up. San Antonio would be another one. Do they get off of Keldon Johnson, or they get off one of those other young core guys to bring in a Kevin Durant to really try and win now? Houston, they have the pieces, they have the depth, they have a lot of assets that other teams would want. So again, there's a lot of options there, but also, why not just stay? Like, let's move off Brad. Let's move off Brad Beal.
But you have to listen. You have to listen, though.
Oh, you're listening.
Yeah,
sure.
the landscape has changed, right? Like, you don't know what's going on out there. So Matt Ishbia has already said the ownership of the Phoenix Suns, he's here to stay. But now with everything, hey, it's the Wild West now. We got to listen to all offers. We might land some young guys or another superstar guy that may put us in a position that we're not already in. And so, do you trade Kevin Durant? Absolutely not. You don't trade Kevin Durant. But again, as ownership, with the way things are going and how the landscape is changing, you listen to everything that comes your way.
100%.
You know what, Lou? When the trade happened the other night, they had that sound from Kevin Durant in the locker room, and you could almost see his brain processing, like, "Holy crap! They just traded Luka." And his face sort of changed from shock to, "My God, I guess we're all up for grabs," kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Now that this is all out there, if you're Kevin Durant, do you really start thinking like they could actually trade me, or do you think deep down he's like, nah, they're not going to?
I don't think he thinks he's gonna get traded, but like I said, what's off the table at this point now? Like, who's off limits? Nobody is off limits now. So if he's gonna go anywhere, I love the idea of a Golden State reunion. Right? I think it makes sense. You may unload one of your young guys. You already know that this is going to work. But I'm going to make the same argument for LeBron James. These guys are in the fourth quarter of their careers. You know, these guys are 35, 36 years old at this point. Can these older veteran guys really compete for another championship together at this stage in their career? It remains to be seen. So that'll be a scenario that I could see working. Obviously, we don't see it happening. We're just playing fantasy basketball at this point with throwing these things around. But if there's a fit for him, I like there. Other than that, I don't see a lot of scenarios. But I didn't think that we even be discussing a possible trade scenario for Kevin Durant anyway.
Yeah, and look, it's Kevin Durant, right? Like, he can fit on any team. Any team would love to have Kevin Durant. The way he can score the basketball, how productive and how efficient he still is at this point of his career. I think it's just about what you're willing to give up. So you have to look at these teams where they have a lot of young assets. They have a lot of pieces that you can get back something in return to make the future look brighter. Now, when I saw this team in Phoenix get constructed, I was a believer. We were both believers. I was like, okay,
Absolutely.
Phoenix is for real. Man, they added the point guards. They're
Don't
deep.
look now.
They get a Royce O'Neal.
Like,
they have Grayson out. Like, they have so many pieces where, on paper, this team should be so much better. And Kevin Durant is still so elite that any team would be lucky to get him. I wish they'd find a way for this to work, but now we're in our second season of it, and it isn't, and it hasn't.
Do you think they would move Kuminga for a Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
It'll get the people going.
Yeah, I think they would. I would.
People will talk it. They're 24 and 22 in the 9th spot right now. This Luka thing has changed the entire way we speak of the NBA, because it used to be like, that's stupid. Don't even talk about trading that guy. He's not touchable. And now we're like, Sure, I don't see why not. By the way, Chandler, kudos on your sweatshirt right now against that Phoenix Suns backdrop. It's popping. It's like you're really like
Sweatshirt's popular today. Thanks.
What?
Yeah, that's the second compliment I've gotten.
Well, that's too many, if you ask me.
And it's only 7-Eleven. Sky's the limit today for this thing.
You're off to a great start today, Chandler.
All right, let's get to some hoops. There were some games last night. Believe it or not, there are actually games still being played. Trae Young, this is stupid. That's all.